Hey, everybody. Happy Labor Day. It's September the 1st. Can y'all imagine? It's September the 1st. But listen, guys, welcome in the building. I hope y'all had an amazing weekend. Happy Labor Day. I had a good weekend. I had a good day so far. And I decided, you know what, let me come here early so I can get to bed early tonight, okay? Have trending topics, but we having trending topics. It's a little early today, but we're going to do this, okay? We got 3 stories, and the title tonight is called Pure Evil. Hey, Latasha. Hey, everybody out there. Cute picture, girlfriend. Look at you, okay? Look at you, a little cutie pie there. Very nice picture. So listen, guys, it's called Pure Evil. People are evil. That's the title. People are evil. We got this woman who posted a selfie on Instagram, and when she posted a selfie, she got a lot of backlash. The people were calling her all kind of names, saying her nose was big, asking was the picture real, telling her, oh, she should get a nose job. And I'm like, see, that's what's wrong with the world today now. You know, listen, let's be clear here. Let's be very clear before I say this. I got to give a disclaimer. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But if you ever notice over here, I try my best. I really try my best to not call anybody out of their name. Even what is he, number 47? You ain't never heard me call number 47 out of his name. I try not to talk about people's appearances. Listen, we're not in the womb saying, I want brown eyes, long hair, I want to look like XYZ. It is what it is when we come out. And because of people's obsession with looks, you got people getting butt implants, lip implants, Botox, boobs done. So when somebody wants to stay natural, let them be what it is. But we're going to talk about it because I love her response. So to me, she's beautiful on the inside and out. We're going to talk about it. Got a lot of backlash off of her selfie. Then we're going to talk about this Walmart Brawl. They was getting down in the Walmart, throwing punches. But the reason why the claim is the reason why they was punching the cashier is because they're claiming that the cashier is connected to somebody who are somebody. And I guess the person who are somebody is missing. And they figure that's your friend. You know where they at. And they got the wailing on her. People are evil. And I guess people ain't waiting for court justice anymore. They getting street justice. Because it was more than one person in the Walmart wailing on her. We're going to talk about it. Then this has got to be, we hear a lot of sad cases here. And we're going to hear sad cases. Why? Because we're doing trending topics. So this 11-year-old gave birth to a baby, and the stepdaddy is the father. Because the state did the DNA test. They needed to know what happened to this 11-year-old who got no prenatal care the whole time she was pregnant, who gave birth in a filthy, dirty, nasty, stinking house. So they want to know who was the father. So they took a DNA test, and the stepdaddy came back 99.9%. You are the father. And the mother allowed this to go down. What type of world do we live in when your parents don't protect you? How disgusting, nasty, filthy, and ridiculous is that? Woo, come on. T's a work in progress. Who taught you to hate yourself? So that was a quote by Malcolm X. Who taught us to hate ourselves? You know, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm jumping back a story, the first one I mentioned. The only reason why I'm jumping back because I love this right here. Who taught you to hate yourself? You know, I went gray early. My hair started graying. I was in my 30s. It wasn't fully gray, but I started graying. And the first sign of gray hair I saw, I swear to you, I got so close to the mirror and I plucked the hair right out of my head. And then it got to be more and more and more and more and more to the point where I started to color my hair. I colored my hair for a long time. And then one day, because when I frequent somebody, the girl that does my nails, she's been doing my nails for over 15 years. I had two different main stylists in my lifetime. I think I had them both about 10 years apiece. The latter one I had, she was coloring my hair, and she was like, Diva. She said, why don't you just let it go? And I thought about it because, gray hair is hard to cover. And so I would say on average, I was sitting in the salon about maybe an hour just trying to color my hair. But at the time I was coloring my hair, I was perming my hair. And she said, your hair can't take it no more. You got to choose. Are you going to color? You going to perm? And I said, ooh, I got to make a choice. I don't want to make a choice. So at first, I think I chose, did I choose? I don't remember. I think one day, I didn't stop, matter of fact, I do remember. And then one day, I just walked by the mirror and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just cut my hair off. I'm not going to let the color come out and then stop coloring it. I'm just going to cut it off. And I shaved my head off. And I never looked back. I never put a dye to my head again. But I love this, T. I'm glad you wrote that in the chat. Who taught you to hate yourself? It's terrible. So now this 11-year-old that gave birth to the stepdad's baby. The mother's charged, of course, the stepfather charged, and I want to say they charged the grandmother too. Because they said this girl got pregnant at 10. So this nasty, disgusting, filthy piece of trash was letting loose in a 10-year-old. And the mother stood by and watched. She's trash too. And those disgusting pieces of work need to spend the rest of their natural life in prison. Forever. 10-year-old. At 11, you got to give birth. Let me tell you this. I promise you this. I had my son at 35. I had him late. I was 35. And honey, I was petrified. So can you imagine at 11 giving birth to a child, and they didn't even take her to the hospital. They had her give birth in that nasty, filthy, disgusting house that they said dog feces was everywhere. Children are to be loved and protected. And those trash parents violated her. Then imagine that tension. They must not have been sending her to school. Imagine at 10, like a baby is roaming around in your belly. So you're going to have a 10-year-old and you're 21. And of course, they're going to have to take the baby from her. An 11-year-old can raise a baby. At best, I will hope somebody can adopt her and the baby. This is tragic. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't ram my mouth enough. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Monday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about, okay? The title is called People Are Evil. We got the viral selfie and the backlash from that. We got the Walmart Brawl, and we got an 11-year-old that gave birth to the stepfather baby. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hold on one second. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Diva. Hey, panel. Hey, chat.
Hey, listen, it's ladies' night right now so far. Shut up, Emmanuel. I'm sorry, y'all. They setting the ground down free tomorrow morning. Well, Emmanuel, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that information. She need to go free. I think she learned her lesson. I hope she did. Okay, and Ray needs her. Ray needs her. All right, people, let me go ahead. I think I'm going to do the viral selfie backlash first. It's an interesting story. I was, when I read it, I was just like, people are so evil, but I loved her approach to it. That's why I wanted to do that story. Come on, Special K. Yes, Karen coming home. Okay, there you go. Let me share screen. This is it. Woman selfie receives thousands of comments about her appearance, but she refuses to delete the photo. Exclusive. She said, I'm not an aesthetically beautiful person. I'm not. And that's okay. Naomi tells people exclusively. You know what? I just, I love her, but the sad part about it is, to me, is that she said, I'm not an aesthetically beautiful person. Why? Because someone else said she wasn't? Do you know what I mean? So Naomi is just like you. She works 5 days a week, goes to church on Sundays, and enjoys getting her nails done. She loves fashion, her friends, and her family too. Like most, these everyday moments are reflected on her Instagram page, where she posts a few times a week. So imagine her surprise when a simple video about one of her favorite masks drew comments like, "Is this AI? And is she using a filter?" After a while, Naomi realized they were talking about her physical appearance. But it wasn't until the 37-year-old posted a selfie in June that she would be exposed to the depths of the internet's nastiness. Naomi was born in Zimbabwe, a beautiful country in the center of Africa's southern region, the youngest of 7 siblings. She tells people her understanding of beauty has changed over the years due to her lived experience. In Zimbabwe, my home country, beauty is more the courageous woman, the well-endowed woman, Naomi explains. And so, as everybody who is smaller, I was always told, eat more, fill out more. Now, I will tell you this, even sometimes in a lot of Black families, my family from the South, they always was like, oh my God, you're too tiny. Not now, but way back when, you got to eat more. Come in here. We're going to feed you some potatoes. We're going to feed you some grits. We're going to feed you some mac and cheese, because they did feel the more curvaceous woman, was the more desired one. Okay. Got to be a little thick. So Naomi pursued higher education at the University of Queensland I ain't gonna mess up the name, in Australia, as well as the University of Auckland in New Zealand. During her time in Australia, she shares that she was the only Black person in her classes, a great departure from her community, marking yet another complex lesson regarding desirability and beauty away from home. Growing up, hold on one second. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Why is my screen acting up? There we go. Okay. Growing up, she says she was particularly teased about her nose. Through her late teens and early 20s, Naomi came to appreciate her physical features. And after a while, there wasn't even a thought in her mind. I do know that one of the most controversial features that I have, which is what blew up on the internet, was my nose. It's my father's nose. Why would I want to remove a feature that identifies me with my father? It doesn't make sense, she ponders. Now, I thought this was a great statement that she said that, right? Why would she want to remove something that reminds her of her father? I won't say that there was that one day where I woke up and I looked in the mirror and said, yes, there was just one point where you looked at yourself and said, I like the way I look, she continues. And that was me. And once I arrived at that point, no one can take that away because they didn't give it to me. So there is her mother and her father, a picture. Naomi now works as a lawyer in the financial sector. She developed her personal style, healed old wounds, and built a great life for herself. All was relatively fine until June, when she received a particular comment on one of her posts that struck a nerve. I got a comment that said something about trying out rhinoplasty, she begins. And I think she caught me at a time where I was really pissed off, because I had received other comments and maybe even worse comments before I had people telling me outright, you're ugly and you don't deserve to be on the internet. Naomi posted and then deleted an admittedly passive-aggressive response video, opted to call her big sister for advice, and said, the focus here shouldn't be on what people say, because people will say what people say. But the focus here is, why is it pissing you off? She recalls her sister asking her, because another comment wouldn't have. So there's something about this that pisses you off. With her sister's words of wisdom, Naomi realized that maybe I'm not as healed as I thought I was. I just love this woman. So Naomi went back to her source, God. She quotes the well-known Bible scripture, Psalm 139, 15, 16, as a central point of understanding of self and purpose. So that scripture is telling me that, look, God actually put you together, she tells people. If it's flowing from my relationship with God and understanding who he is, understanding who he created me to be, then what can people say? There's nothing you can tell me. So that is the healing journey. And I don't know how it could be done outside of God, at least in a permanent way. And it's the very principle that Naomi had to stand on when she posted a Happy Monday selfie in June. The picture spread like wildfire, amassing over 530,000 comments and shares on Instagram, most of them negative. Naomi says it's her first most viral post yet. And while she thought about deleting it, another Bible passage came back to her. In the book of Genesis, the prophet Joseph was sold into slavery by his siblings because they were jealous of the favor he had with their father, Jacob. Joseph would eventually rise to power, and his siblings would in turn apologize. And Joseph responds like, no, what the enemy meant for evil, God will turn it around for good. So it reminds me, okay, look, if you weren't resilient, if you didn't love yourself the way you do, the kind of backlash would destroy you, Naomi shares. But then it made me realize that the posts with the worst backlash are also the posts that I gained the most followers. So it is the idea that if the purpose of this was destroying me, I'm not going to agree with that purpose. So where does Naomi go from here? She tells people that she plans on doing exactly what she's been doing, living her life, and hopefully encouraging others to embrace exactly who they are. I really, really want people to see God. I want people to see confidence. I am not aesthetically beautiful person. I'm not, and that's okay, she says. But I love myself and I can be myself. And with that is a certain level of beauty because there is a light that everyone has and that deserves to shine. I begin April with 1,000 followers. We are we are now in August. I have 20,000 followers. So when I say this has been insane, I really mean that this has been insane, she adds. It's not me doing anything outside of what I normally do. So I'm not trying to get anything. I'm just doing what I would normally do on social media. Like it or not, this is what I'm going to do. Well, to date, she has 40 something thousand subscribers. Let me just play a little. This is lengthy. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I do want to play some. I want you to hear her voice, and I really happen to like her.
Hi, your girl here. I'm just hopping on here to just have a chat around where my brain is. Like yesterday, I had responded to what I would term a audacious comment that I'd received on one of my videos. And so later on in the evening, I took down that video I had done as a response. And so this video now is to kind of give you a picture about where my brain is and what that was all about. So sit down, relax, and let's have a chat. So a little bit of background, right? For the last 2 months or so, I have, like, my following has grown a lot. It's doubled. It's more than doubled. And by the way, welcome on board. I love you. Let's have a great time together, right? But that has also made me exposed to a side of Instagram that I've never been exposed to. So my videos have also been exposed to audiences that I would normally wouldn't be exposed to. And so one of the repercussions of that is that I have people commenting on my videos that are just plain mean. No other word to describe it but plain mean. And so the first time I got comments that I felt were mean, I was taken aback, really, really taken aback, because it's never happened to me, and it was so new. And so I was kind of like, wait, what? What's going on? And then I quickly moved from being like shocked about it and then being kind of like, but that's just so mean. Like, why would you do that to another human being? Like, that's just mean, right? So I moved from shock to that. And I think that response is also part of shock. And then I moved.
I'm going to stop there. She's very long-winded. It kind of goes around about in the same way. I just wanted to share this story because I really do like her. I like the message that she's sending. And like I said, now to date, I will take you to her actual page. I want to say when she did this, she was at 20,000 in June or whatever day that was. But now she is at 48.4K subscribers. And I'm going to say in counting. I like her a lot. I like her message. Go to her page and follow her because she's a great example of love who you are, be who you are, and don't let the haters stop you. Okay. So this is her page here. So I'll go around and we'll talk. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, she can add another follower as of today. I'm definitely looking on Instagram now, and I'll be joining her page. What I loved about this story is that beauty has nothing to do with looks, is what I learned, but it has everything to do with how you are as a person and how others feel about themselves when you are in their presence or exit the room. It's definitely in my experience what beauty is. It's a shame that, these keyboard trolls and pirates, they always have that power to hide behind a screen and say, and then she's correct. There's actually no other word for it, but just mean and nasty. But she has taught us to embrace our
Mm,
our individualities and to love what is unique about each and every one of us, without passing judgment, because sometimes we can be our own worst critics.
woo,
And
yes.
what I love is that she embraced every flaw. I couldn't get past her smile, and that's just being honest. What I saw was her smile, and I absolutely loved it. But just her message, her word, and how she just let none of what the negativity, that, because I can't even imagine what they were saying, spewing at her, knock her off her square for one moment. I just I've learned to appreciate her and like her, and I definitely, the same as you, I just joined and followed her, so I'm interested in learning more about her and her story, and that's such a beautiful message that she is sharing in a time where our social media feeds are usually about divisiveness and separation and just all types of meanness and ugly stories. I appreciate her message today. So I'm glad you let off with this, Diva.
Oh, thank you, thank you. 48, your thoughts?
Hey Diva, panel chat. Diva, I really like the story too, and one of the things um that I'm learning, like as I'm going in faith and stuff like that, is that the one of the hardest things to do is like confronting yourself
Mm,
when you feel like you supposed to have it together. I think the message that her sister said to her actually is gonna catapult her into that next phase of where God wants to take her.
mm-hmm,
I feel like, I heard this pastor say one time, he said, it's not moving on faith if you're waiting to be perfect. People need to see the
mm,
imperfectness of it, because that's the myth about
mm,
Christianity, is
mm,
that you have to be perfect when you do these things. You don't have to be perfect. What God requires is that you try, and you try to refrain from doing the same thing. But what's so dope about him is that even if you do slip up, 7 times 7 infinity and whatever, you can still come back as
mm,
long as you're striving to be better. So I just, with her mindset and the people that she's going to be able to reach, I think it's going to be beautiful. She's going to have all kinds of people reaching out to her, brand deals. I could see Dove reaching out to her,
mm,
because this, the imperfectness of each of us is our individual story. But like her sister did say, it is something that tapped something on the inside of her. And I just love the fact that she was like, okay, since they want to call me out, whatever you think is what you think, and I'm gonna do this thing in your face.
mm.
So yeah, I like that.
I loved it because when you with the part that touched me so much was she said, like, why would I change my nose? It's my history. I'm adding words, but it's my history. It's my dad knows, and I'm taking it like I love my dad. My family on my dad's side, a lot of forehead. Got the 5-finger forehead like me, and and people have said things to me about it, and I don't got no problem with it. I just she's a good messenger, bringing forth a message of love thyself, because some of us really are tearing ourselves down. I don't know what people are trying to be with the implants, with the injections, with the Botox. And it's like we're putting this poison in our body. And I just, that quote, I just, who taught you to hate yourself? Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva. Um, Everybody is beautiful in their own way. You can
Mm-hmm.
be the most beautiful person out there, but your inside is not good. The ugliness is gonna come on the outside. You
Mm-hmm.
can profile, you can, like you said, the lip injection, the butts, the liposuction or whatever, and you still not happy with yourself.
Mm.
And at least when she do have children, her children will know exactly what she looked like, because she didn't do what the Kardashian did, tore down their whole body face and look like a whole different person. I'm thinking, like, is the kids gonna even resemble you at all? Because all this stuff you had done, but y'all forgot y'all had kids. I mean, the children gonna look up and say, I don't know if that's you in this picture. Wow. They don't look like their kids anymore because they did the cosmetic thing. And this woman right here says she's not going to do that because that's her father knows.
Mm.
And why would she eliminate that? That's something that she has to carry on with herself. And I hope she don't let the YouTube streets or anybody else bring her down, that she does go do that. I hope she maintains strong, because this internet, it's a monster. They can make you, it's some nasty people to be on these internet suites. So what she need to do is just stay strong, be the person that she is, and keep pushing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I love her. So everybody, go to the page, follow her. Let's get her to 50,000. I love her. I love her message, and I appreciate her for coming out and being her authentic self. Okay, so we're gonna move on to this Walmart brawl. Child, the people putting their hands on people, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But let me share screen so we can get into this story. Let me see, because I got a video for y'all. All right. Okay.
Well, new tonight, a video is going viral from the checkout lane of an Indianapolis grocery store. Several people punching, kicking one another, while others were trying to just break up the chaos. CBS 4's Gabriela Mirando talked with a man who got it all on camera, who says it was the last thing he expected to see.
This Walmart on Keystone Avenue became the scene of a brawl Friday afternoon. A witness tells me it started when a family was trying to find an accused rapist. Take a look for yourself. The video starts where people usually end their grocery trip, the checkout aisle. One person can be seen on the ground in what looks like an employee vest, while another person hits and kicks from above. The fight then moves closer to the customer service area, where it eventually calms down. The police report says it happened just before noon yesterday and lists one female victim and two female suspects. Kyle Butler, the man who got this video, says the family of an alleged rape victim was trying to find a friend who was involved in the attack. He says the employee seen being hit in the video was the friend they were looking for. He says they were trying to get answers on the whereabouts of the suspected rapist.
There wasn't any questioning, no anything. They just, as soon as they saw the girl, the whole family came over, started beating her up, asking her where the guy was, just over and over.
The victim in the police report lists the name of a woman who's also named in a report documenting a rape investigation. That police report, also from yesterday, is from Beech Grove. So far, we're not aware of any arrests having been made following the fight, and we're still working to learn more about the rape investigation. For now, reporting on the north side, Gabriela Mirando, CBS 4 News.
I felt like she was losing her eye that whole time, because she kept blinking her eyes. She distracted me a little bit. But hold on, let me share screen again. So Walmart workers savagely beaten by a woman in a checkout brawl. Okay. A brutal beatdown erupted inside an Indianapolis Walmart with a viral video showing a pack of women unleashing chaos on an unsuspecting employee. We can see this.
Walmart, Indianapolis, Indiana. Walmart, Indianapolis. What a time! What a time! Here we go.
Where's my phone? What is that?
What a time to be alive. Well, let me make sure my camera's right there.
Send somebody up to get ready to get that promo. I'm gonna tell you to do that. What you mean? Give me Lorianne. All right. Can I please get everybody to stop recording? Girl, please.
Yeah.
Please stop recording.
Nah. We gotta make sure. We gotta make sure everybody's safe. We gotta make sure everybody's safe. Listen, I gotta take care of this. I gotta take care of this.
No, I'm saying it to everybody, man. I'm saying it to everybody like that.
Yeah, they gotta take care of this. Yeah, we're just making sure everybody's good. Yeah. Oh, we got our runner, we got our track star. Yeah, you better go before the police come. I always wanted to see that happen at Walmart, and I finally got a chance to. This is definitely going up on all my social media. Nobody getting back to work.
So just crazy. This disturbing clip shot on Friday and posted to Facebook shows worker Karen Hicks being grabbed in the checkout aisle as multiple women rain punches and stomp on her. Woman in pink goes off, hammering Hicks with blows, while another attacker yells, "Where he at, BITCH?" As bystanders try to pull the woman off, a man jumps in and kicks Hicks while another suspect keeps swinging. The chaos only stops after Walmart staff and customers drag Hicks away, though her attackers continue hurling insults and even toss an object at her. Butler says the women were relatives of an alleged R victim, claiming the attack was instantly on site. Hicks insists she was wrongly targeted, telling Fox 59 she'd been receiving calls linking her friend to AR, but denies any involvement. "I just hear, there she goes, and then boom, on the side of my head, I feel somebody hitting me," Hicks recorded. To make matters worse, Hicks says Walmart suspended her for her following the savage assault. This is crazy. Savannah, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
I'm just disgusted. I am absolutely appalled. This was a vicious attack on a person that is standing there doing her job.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't the one that committed the R, so why is she being? I mean, she was stomped. And then I see them holding a child in the middle of all this melee. So that's child neglect, child abuse. And then you have the nerve to ask people to stop recording. Although I'm upset with the guy that recorded because he's all about clicks and views. And I didn't see men's. Where's security? Where are the men at? You know, this is why there's stereotypes, and people just don't go to they don't feel safe going in Walmart because of madness like this, because she knows somebody that may be accused of an arm. I would hope that Walmart would lock those doors and arrest everyone. And now you've made other shoppers feel unsafe. You inconvenience them. You put others in harm. This was a savage brawl all on one woman, young lady doing her job, and Walmart's wrong for letting her go as well because she wasn't doing anything. She didn't do the art. I'm so upset. This has really messed up my mood after that first nice story that we just had, and then to see a child in there, and there was at least 6 or 7 of them acting a fool up at Walmart. Oh, yes, I'm good, Diva. This is a mess, and I hope they all got charged. Every single last one of them.
Yeah, it is a mess. Katrina, your thoughts?
I'm just wondering how many people pushed their buggy out of Walmart without paying, because all that mailing was going on, as Savannah calls it. And another thing, when somebody is in there doing theft, they have the police standing outside just that quickly. So you didn't nobody call the police to have this taken care of. And the only way they can suspend her, when they stopped with that fight, she walked back over into it. So I guess they were seeing her walk back into it, and they started back fighting again. But regardless of the fact, um, she still should have never been suspended. I don't think that was fair on her part. I think Walmart did it because this girl can claim workman comp because she was on the clock when this all happened. Um, and they don't want that bill. That's what I'm getting. But that's a sad situation for somebody to come in there and mollywop you while you in there doing your job. And it wasn't one person, it wasn't two people. It was like 3 and 4, it was like a whole bunch. And what was that girl supposed to do with all that other than protect herself? She could have lost her life dealing with that. They could have hit her in the wrong way. It's sad. It's just totally, totally sad. And like Savannah said, the guy taking the recording it, he think it's all fun and games. That was not all fun and games. That this child, with this own how old she is, but this woman got beaten up the way that she got beaten up. It's a wholly done shame. And I didn't see not too many men in there trying to stop it. That's ridiculous. If you want to know what the guy was, why didn't you go to the police and tell the police that she might know what the guy is instead of taking things in your own hands? Maybe that would have been a better solution. Because if I was her, I'll press charges on every last one of them that put their hands on me. That's all I got.
Yeah, thank you, Katrina. Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, these people, they want people to respect them, but they don't respect themselves. That's totally ridiculous. There's nowhere in the world that should have went on that long and security of the police wasn't called. Thank God they didn't have pow pows or anything like that, but you know, this is ridiculous. You're in a Walmart and no police come and they stand, it's just like a free-for-all. I mean, what kind of management does Walmart have? And I'm sure this girl will get an attorney as, you know, something that, how you get fired because somebody jumped you?
That part.
Yeah, you know, they don't respect themselves. These kind of people, they go to a place, they start confusion, they on the Carnival cruises, all that stuff. And then when they say they don't want blacks or they don't want them, you know, then you want to get mad. Because people don't want their stuff tore up. You know, they need to watch that video, do an investigation, find out who was wrong, and prosecute him. This is ridiculous that even the customers have to endure this. You know, when stuff like that's going on, people are scared. They don't know where the stuff gonna start flying from.
Exactly.
You got children, and I can't believe the one girl, she was still holding a child. It's ridiculous. We got to do better. That's it.
We got to do better. Felicia, your thoughts?
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody had a good holiday.
I did.
Yeah. I'm going to go in a little different direction here. It just, I think this may be, and let me uppercase, maybe a situation where the absence of the fathers in the household are just manifesting themselves on these streets. I really don't know how old they were because I don't think I got a close-up look. But from the sounds of their voices, they all sound very young to me. So I'm talking like, 19, 20. Something horrible happened here. This was horrible. They said somebody was hard. They're looking for the person. And they don't believe that they're going to get any kind of support, perhaps. Is there a male around? Is there a father figure? Is there a would-be father? Is there someone that somebody knows in law enforcement? Do they trust law enforcement? So amongst themselves, they're going to go out and they're going to get this person. And everyone is angry and everybody's confused and everybody's upset. And they go after somebody that looks like them, that has nothing to do with it. And it makes sense to them because we just don't make too much sense anymore. Our young people are out here suffering. And yes, I agree with Savannah. And you had a little teeny tiny toddler in there too. And I don't know what you were going to do with the toddler. You should have definitely stayed home. And in all of that, Katrina's absolutely correct. If Katrina and I had been in the Walmart and she said, you know what, girl, let's get on out of here. And she went to pushing that cart past that beeper, we would have been locked up. Police would have been there. They'd have got Katrina in the parking lot and me too. But no,
I would have pushed the bug in front of him and ran. I'm just playing.
But I was just not valued. That's what I saw. And for the management to tell this young woman, this employee, oh, you're fired. Well, I gave counsel out before. I'm going to give it again. If you find yourself in this kind of a situation, you're not getting any support from the employer. You're not getting support from a friend. You're not getting it from somebody in your household. Dial 911 and say you need medical assistance. Don't let your ego, your pride, your confusion get in the way. It's 911. Why? Because now it's going to be documented. And you're also going to be checked out because it looked like she took quite a few hits to the head.
Yeah,
It puts management on notice that you failed to protect this employee. I know she didn't go back. They didn't have to suspend her because she wouldn't have went back the next day. Not what happened to her. I don't think so. And the gentleman that was filming, he didn't understand what his role could or could not be. He didn't say he wasn't getting into it because he didn't feel safe. It just was entertainment to him. That's what I got. So he's entertained by violence and brutality of women on women.
He always wanted to see that in Walmart.
Yes, he did.
He said that. Come on now, talk. Y'all talking.
So, this is just in terms of society, in terms of social. There's so much going on more than just what's on the surface there. The rage, the anger, the hurt. I don't know if the alleged victim was in that group. I don't know if that was a sister of the victim. I don't know. But I know there's a lot of angry young women who didn't feel like anybody cared about them that could really do something about it. So they did it on their own.
Yeah, street justice.
And boy, is that ugly. And here you are at work. All these lights, all these people. Allegedly, you got an employer, and they're no show. But if Katrina and I decided to take that cart with whatever was in it and keep moving to the car, we would have been locked up.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have had us on camera.
Shout out to the guy. I don't know if you noticed the guy, and I'm just saying this. It's not black, white, whatever thing. The white guy, the worker who kept trying to help her out. Because I don't know if you noticed, there was a guy that said property asset or something like that, because they got those now at the Walmart, the Target, all that. He was there at first, the black guy, and then he just walked away.
Well, you know, I know this is going to sound a little crass, but I would have advised them to walk away. Those group of women were looking to take somebody out. There was no reasoning with that group.
Yeah, but I still say shout out to the co-workers that tried to help her and save her.
Well, I agree. But I would have been with Katrina. Let's just get going. Okay. I would have just left.
Yeah, as a shop, I would have just left. But praise God, praise God for the workers because I think if those workers didn't try to save us, it would have been worse. I don't know what her injuries were or what not, but I think for sure it would have been worse.
Yeah. I'm very sorry they didn't dial 911 or she.
Well, that was problematic too, right?
Yeah, that was my biggest problem. Like, okay, where is 911? She's getting assaulted. And for Walmart to then say, well, she's been terminated. Is she still alive? Where is she? Is she in a hospital, emergency? Where is she?
That part. And then I think that one person, the one worker, she was more concerned with stock filming because she didn't want it to go viral.
Correct.
That was this thing was messy.
Yeah. Sorry for everybody, especially the baby that was involved.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because that baby seeing that violence at such a young age, what you think that one's going to turn out to be? Going to be in the kindergarten busting people in the face. 48, your thoughts?
Hey, Diva, am I cracking or anything, or am I okay?
No, it is sketchy.
Okay, then I'm going to just drop down in the chat.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and roll into this last story, which is horrific. The 11-year-old gives birth to the stepfather's baby. Let me share a screen.
New details in a very disturbing case out of eastern Oklahoma. It is making national headlines. An 11-year-old gives birth inside her home in Muskogee with zero medical care. Both the child's mother and stepfather are in jail. And now they face even more charges after new results of a DNA test reveal who is the father of the baby.
News 4's John Hayes talked to investigators today. And John, first of all, this is ghastly, man. An 11-year-old girl. How sure are they of this latest development being correct in the case?
Ghastly is the right word, Kevin. Very serious allegations here. The Muskogee County District Attorney's Office tells me a DNA test says there's only a 0.1% chance the child's stepdad isn't the father of her baby, but prosecutors are now dropping the hammer.
It is horrific.
Horrific allegations made against this Muskogee County couple, Dustin Walker and Cherie Walker. Both of them arrested earlier this month after their 11-year-old child gave birth in their house, and they claimed they didn't know she was pregnant. Muskogee County Assistant District Attorney Janet Hudson says,
I mean, the 11-year-old child was obviously raped. She cannot give consent by whomever this person is.
Our affiliate in Tulsa spoke with a woman who said she was the 11-year-old's grandmother.
We didn't know this was happening.
Who wanted to go by Michelle about who could be responsible.
She keeps telling us that it was the little 12-year-old boy that I used to keep. I babysat.
Regardless, Hudson says they tested the stepfather, Dustin Walker's DNA, and on Saturday, the results came in. Hudson says the test did more than keep him in the running. It found with 99.9% probability he is the father of the new baby.
That is the allegation, and that is the report from OSBI on the DNA.
Both parents are facing dozens of charges tied to the new mother and their 5 other younger children. Dustin Walker is accused of child sex abuse and neglecting 6 kids. Cherie Walker is accused of enabling his abuse and neglecting the kids as well. Hudson says she just keeps going back to the little girl who shouldn't have to be a mom.
She would have conceived when she was approximately 10. The trauma that she has endured, I cannot fathom. And the community as a whole is outraged with what has occurred.
Tough. Hudson says her office is taking each of these allegations very seriously, but with caution, noting the couple's charges are potentially punishable by up to life in prison.
Yes, thank you for
well, one of the two
said that to me. Yes, grandma did get arrested too. She talking about, it was the 11-year-old or 12-year-old I used to babysit. Girl, bye. Let me share a screen so I could get more information. Sick family. Devastating new twist after girl 11 gives birth to a baby with 99.9% DNA match to stepdad in filthy home. A neighbor fired off allegations against the family before a shocking arrest. A grandmother has been arrested after her 11-year-old granddaughter gave birth to her stepdad's child, according to police who cited DNA evidence. On Friday, Michelle Justice, 53, was the third family member to be accused of hiding the disgusting sexual exploitation of the little Oklahoma girl. That's the grandma got arrested. That's the stepfather. That's the mother. Authorities in Muskogee County, about an hour outside of Tulsa, alleged that Justice failed to report the girl's pregnancy and was responsible for the pregnant girl in her care. Prior to her arrest, Justice said her daughter told her that the father of the granddaughter was a 12-year-old boy and that the children just got curious. At the time, the grandmother told NBC affiliate KJRH, they made my daughter and my son-in-law a monster. They are not. They love those children. They love them. The 11-year-old girl gave birth inside a disgusting home on August 16 without any medical supervision, cops said. Dog feces was scattered across the floor, and there was no running water, according to officials. The new mom also owned little clothing. She was approximately 36 weeks when she gave birth and had not received prenatal care or visited a doctor in over a year. At first, her mother, Cherie Walker, and stepfather, Dustin Walker, were arrested over unsafe conditions of the home. But after taking a DNA test, authorities found a 99.9% match between the newborn and Dustin, confirming the stepdad was the baby's father. Dustin was then accused of child SA, and Walker was accused of enabling it. Cheryl Atkins, who lived next door to the couple, claimed that the grandmother was helping the couple before she was arrested. I witnessed them go back and forth to their mama's house across the street, Atkins told the news. She has provided for their needs because they had no running water for the last 2 or 3 years. They have cats in the house and 6 children. Atkins said that she made several calls for authorities to come check on the property out of fear for the children's condition. Meanwhile, Justice claimed that the community was unaware of the whole story and no one knew what was happening. She said that the conditions of the house were due to the pets. We have animals, and so sometimes there's trash on the floor because the dogs get into the trash, she said. Family charge. Justice has been charged with 6 counts of child neglect. Both of the parents have been charged with 6 counts of felony child neglect. Dustin was charged with SA and Cherie was charged with enabling SA. All 6 children, including an 11-year-old girl, were taken into protective custody following the investigation. In the statement, Muskogee County Assistant District Attorney Janet Hudson described the incident as one of the worst. She said one of the most, if not the most serious child SA neglect cases I ever prosecuted. She said the 11-year-old child will carry this trauma for her whole life. The parents are in Muskogee County Jail, and both are being held on a $100,000 bond. A $100,000 bond for this crime is absolutely nothing. The justice system is so unbalanced, it is sickening. Savannah, your thoughts?
This is a sickening story. I actually have been following this story on Law and Crime Network for a little over a week or so. So I'm glad that they did get that they finally charged the grandmother with something, because in her interview, she had the nerve to say that kids will be kids, which enraged the f out of me when she said that. This house was absolutely disgusting. It reminded me of that case up in, I think it was Detroit, where the mother left the 4 children alone, and she lived elsewhere, and the 4 kids lived in that house of squalor. This house was just as nasty. Feces, urine, trash. And it was correct that they had been years without running water, sometimes missing, not even having electricity. And the reports were that this allegedly, she's been the child that just gave birth. These encounters with her stepdad started around the age of 8. So it's even more disheartening and disgusting. And the mother knew, the grandmother knew, they all knew what this man was doing to that child. I'm glad that the little girl, because the little girl actually, and the way the story got found out was because the baby had to go to the hospital because she just gave birth to a baby. So a baby just had a baby. And the hospital was like, what's going on here? And she just gave birth, and they was afraid because she was, the afterbirth, the bleeding and all that. They didn't know what to do, so they had no choice but the baby go to the hospital, the little girl go to the hospital and find out what was going on. Thank goodness the staff did the DNA right away, and they knew something wasn't right with this family. But here again, I blame the system. There were 6 other children in there, and the home was full of roaches and fleas and squalid, like feces everywhere. And there's other children in that house that DCFS did not come out and check. I know there was a couple instances where the school called because the children were not clean, and they didn't smell well when they went to school. But they did nothing. The parents instead decided not to send the kids to school no more. And so the system did not follow up on these children and what was going on with them. So now they're all broken up in foster homes. They're divided, and I'm hoping that they're in a better situation that they were in, and I hope that some of them, if not all of them, do get love and attention and care, what they were missing from these 2 monsters, which the mother decided to I blame the mother mostly, because she chose to sacrifice her own child so she could have a man in her bed. So this story is one of the most sickening stories I have heard, but I have been following on Law and Crime Network, and I'm glad that the grandmother, because the grandmother knew, she knew what was going on. I think she probably her daughter went through some stuff too during her childhood, but I hope that they do get a long sentence in jail, because they deserve to be exactly where they are. And that bond should be more than what it should be $100,000 per child.
That part should be in the millions. Thank you for all the additional information, Savannah. I truly appreciate you. It's a shame. Thank God the little girl had to go to the hospital. Do you happen to know, is the 11-year-old and the baby in the same home?
Last I heard, they were removed and put into, she's in like a foster home care for mothers, young mothers. So she is yes, she did get medical attention. The baby also needed some medical attention. So she was there for about 2 days. On the 3rd day, she went into a home for young mothers. But she's not allowed to have any contact with the family, nor the family with her. But that's the last that I heard heard of the 11-year-old, but she was pregnant when she was 10. But she told her social worker that the inappropriate relationship started when she was 8.
Oh my God. Thank you, Savannah. Katrina, your thoughts?
Oh, while they're in jail, why they got a bun? They need to have the needle. Her and him and grandma. And then you're gonna sit up there and say, well, it was a 12-year-old. So you seen her messing with that 12-year-old and you didn't say that the kids was being kids? Ladies, you insane. This child body has went through a whole different level. She's an adult, not by age, but by having a baby at that age. Now her body is an adult age. This is so sick. And how this child gonna raise this baby? She's 11 years old. She's 11 years old. Then she wasn't in school. Couldn't have been in school because folks would have seen that she was pregnant. And then that they got these kids living in this type of house, and you got a man now. If I'm gonna live like that, a man ain't gonna be in the house living like that with me. And then, first of all, how many kids of those are his? Because he probably messing with the other ones as well. They just didn't get pregnant. And then for you to sit up there and this man is messing with your child. This is ridiculous on all levels. I don't understand. And the thing with this, and I'm not just saying this for another thing, but this was a black family, the truancy officer will be knocking at their door, seeing why that child is not in school. So none of these kids are going to school. Nobody asked about them. Nothing happened. The kids coming to school smelling like a garbage can, basically, and nobody looked into calling the social worker or anything like that. Nobody did this. And then he laying his tail around, sleeping with your 8-year-old baby. That is a baby. That child gonna need so much therapy. It's ridiculous. It's sad unbelief. And they in jail eating food and under a light and getting electricity. No ma'am. No ma'am. They shouldn't even be in no jail right now. They shouldn't be nowhere around now. They shouldn't be. Let me shut up. Well, like I said, it's sad. That child. My God. I'm done. I'm done.
Thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
Well, I'll say it. Those three so-called adults shouldn't be breathing. I'm taking that standpoint. They shouldn't be breathing. And the system is a joke. Because not only did they fail this 11-year-old baby, they failed all them other babies too. And now, if this child, this 11-year-old baby, has to raise that baby, I hope she's gonna get lots of therapy. But in this case, I hope that the baby she gave birth to is in a separate foster home from her, so she could truly heal. And she can truly realize it wasn't her fault. It was those three monsters who are to blame. And I'll say it again. They shouldn't even be breathing behind those bars. That's it. That's all.
Thank you, Julius. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, of course, I hope she gets a lot of therapy. I hope they can place her in a home, a loving home, with her and her child. I don't know about separate, but where someone is going to help her and pretty much do most of the stuff as far as be responsible and let her be a child. But you can't tell her that, oh, this is your sister, this is one of your cousins, something like that. The child is here. It's got to be honest. They just have to deal with it now and hope they can place her in a family where it's nothing but love, concentrated love, so both of them can grow up in a healthy environment. Okay, And again, $100,000, that's nothing. I think you only pay 10% of the bail or something. You know, that's crazy. It shouldn't even be a bail for people like this. You know, monsters, they let monsters walk the street and they know it. They get these light sentences and then they back on the street and they do it again. So really my concentration is on that young lady. I guess the system will take care of the stepfather, the mom, whatever one gets, whatever punishment they get, I think they all should get it straight across the board. Straight across the board. When that grandmother said that it was a 12-year, I knew she was lying straight off the bat.
And I'm sick of the lies these people be telling.
Yeah, and think nobody's going to what? They didn't think nobody's going to test the DNA. They didn't think the child wasn't going to have to go to the hospital. Really, whether she had the baby before or after, she's going to need some kind of medical attention. These people should not be on the street. And the only way they need to see these children is if they see somebody behind bars. If somebody let them. That's it.
Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate you. Felicia,
Let me say something before you go to Felicia. I'm sorry, Diva. But I just thought of something when Wayne said that. So basically, that child, the baby that she was carrying, hopefully he's healthy because she wasn't getting no treatment for the baby. She wasn't even going to the doctors. So I'm just praying that the baby is healthy and thriving because this girl, they weren't even taking the baby to the doctor. This is sick on so many levels. It don't make no sense. This is crazy. But I'm sorry for breaking in. I just thought about what Wayne had said. That y'all didn't even get no pregnancy care.
Thank you. No worries. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, thank you, Diva. So I want to just do a little history moment. Mr. Combs offered $50 million.
Oh, yeah, I knew you was going to go there. Come on, talk.
Well, good. I'm glad you know me.
Say it.
$50 million. He said you could drug test me every
Come on now. Talk to the people.
I won't have no internet and give me a bracelet. I won't have any visitors other than my children and my mother. And they told him no. They told him no more than once, more than 3 times, more than 5 times. They have told this man no. They said, no, you've been charged with this, and that, and you've been with minors. We have a little girl.
Oh, come on now.
She's 11. She survived labor and a night with no help and no care, unsanitary conditions. She don't know what was going on with her. And I gather her mother was very indifferent and grandma was like, whatever. But for whatever reason, God decides, okay, I have to intervene.
Yeah.
And they have to take her to the hospital.
Come on now.
And this unfolds. And they were granted bond? Bail?
Come on now.
$100,000?
Come on.
I appreciate somebody saying 100,000 each kid, but it wasn't enough. It should have been 100 million. They denied Mr. Combs on $50 million for 2 old beat down hoes and 4 liars.
Oh, you're good, gosh. It's Monday now. Yikes.
But this child, who you did a DNA test, you checked it out. You done check, 5 other kids? We know they were harmed. We know they were violated. This is why the grandmother was picked up. This is why she was picked up, okay? It wasn't just because the 11-year-old, okay?
You speaking facts.
And there's somewhere, as Katrina so beautifully said, they got running water, electricity, a lawyer, and if they could find somebody, the 3 of them could be back on the street. But I thank everyone on the panel who called them monsters, because that's what a monster looks like.
Come on now.
And acts like and speaks like.
Mm-hmm.
We've learned a lot in a year.
Mm.
We learned a lot.
We have.
So this is the second case with you, Diva, in under a week.
Come on.
Where there's no RICO, people getting bond, and we got facts.
Oh my gosh.
Not girlfriends who couldn't be the main woman who didn't get paid.
Right.
I don't know when justice is coming, true justice. But I know we need to fight for it. We need to fight for it. Because we got 3 people. And I'm going to say this. I know Grandma didn't say it, but I heard her say it. If she could pick anybody's 12-year-old son off the street, she would have blamed them. She would have blamed them. Because that's what the seeds she was sowing out there.
Come on.
Okay? So that person would have been locked up, their parents saying, we don't know what you're talking about. And you would have had 3 adults saying, yeah, it was him. God have mercy on us.
And you see how she threw someone on the bus. I used to babysit him.
Right. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And that's who was going to be blamed. Not the son-in-law.
Not today. That hospital said not today.
No. I suspect this is like a cult. I wouldn't be surprised if he was screwing Grandma.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm going there.
He probably was. That's why I said
going there.
The 3 of them don't need to be breathing.
Okay. So I say no bail, no bond, and let them wait until they get their time in court. Yes, they should get due process. And then they should be, what? They want to give Mr. Combs 20 years for prostitution. So let's go here. They should get at least 20 years for each child, which means life in prison. I'm done.
Woo. Well, I appreciate you.
Diva, may I add?
Not just life with not just life, giving
Send them to the
life with no
electric
parole.
chair. Send them to the electric chair. Let's just say it. Send them to the electric chair.
Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all coming through on Labor Day and hanging out with the Diva, especially because I came on a little bit earlier than my time. But we had some good stories tonight. The selfie lady, I love her. She gave a good message. Love yourself as you are, not how you want to be, not when you lose 10 pounds, 5 pounds, 6 pounds, whatever, not when you grow your hair long, get your teeth fixed, or whatever it is that you thinking is so wrong. And I love that quote, Malcolm X. I'm going to use that a lot. Who taught you to hate yourself? Look in the mirror and realize you are enough. This Walmart brawl, the part that I feel sorry for this family, which happens to many families, they feel they're not getting any justice. So they're going out there doing street justice. And I'm not saying they was right. I'm saying the bigger picture here is they asking that girl, where is he? Because apparently they're feeling like the cops is ignoring this situation, so they're going around being vigilantes and trying to solve this thing themselves. It's wrong. But the bigger picture is who is ignoring them that's in authority that they feel they got to be on these streets getting the justice themselves. And how sad is it that the baby's with them, and at one point she passes the baby off to the boy, and the boy was at one point helping throw some punches. You teach your family, we're going to go out to this Walmart and we're going to beat her down on sight. And I feel when kids are violated, I feel 100% 10 toes down that the violators need to spend a significant, the rest of their life in jail. And this $100,000 bond, let me tell you one thing, with this Diddy trial, I would have never been so, You always hear the system is corrupt. But this Diddy trial, if it wasn't for the social media the way it is now, and we would have just got strictly from the news about what was going on in that courtroom, I think a lot of people would have thought differently. But now that we have access and we're pulling up this information ourselves, reading it for ourselves, because you know a long time ago they said you don't want a black person to know something, put it in writing. I promise you they used to say that. Well, now when we reading, looking, and researching ourselves, we're like, hold up, something in the water ain't clean. And the people, they put all in those lawsuits. Oh, I was dashed with baby oil and I was passing out. And we kept saying over here on this channel, how could something be in the baby oil? Because the person putting it on you, it would be on their hands and all that, and it wouldn't absorb like that. But you know what I learned? People don't want to hear the truth. They like a lie better. Because initially, until everybody later on started catching the train, I don't care what nobody say, we over here first was calling all that Diddy stuff BS. Nobody saying that man is perfect. Nobody saying he ain't do nothing. But what we did call BS on those lawsuits and the nonsense and those RICO charges. And that's why that darn Damien jumped ship. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for being here. Y'all know the routine. If you ain't hit that like button on the way in, do me a favor, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.
Choo choo.